In India, look, India has three big drivers of the fintech ecosystem it's managed to sustain. The first thing is we have a predominantly mobile first user base. We're amongst the largest mobile install bases in the world, right? We have 720 million internet users now, over 450 million smartphone users. I'm pretty sure we'll get to 700 million smartphone users in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt that today everyone has a computing device that they can use to transact. And that is something that many countries can't boast of at this scale. Only China can boast of these many smartphone users, these many internet users. So that's been a big, unique determinant of India's fintech capabilities. And of course, it's true for many other things like media and so on. But that's given us a very different way of thinking about the fintech market. The second very important thing is the government of India has taken on a unique responsibility to sustain the India stack. So Aadhaar, UPI, BMPS, all of the things that have gone into the creation of that stack. I don't find any other country in the world that has an open system built a similar way. Even the US, it takes 2 to 3 days for me to get money out of my brokerage, whereas in India, Zerodha will send it to you within 2 hours, right, over IMPS. So we have certain inherent architectural and infrastructural advantages, and it's strange for an Indian to be saying that about India at this time. We don't have that kind of infrastructure in many other areas. We should, at least not yet. But here we've done phenomenally well, and we have to give full credit to the team that did this over 10, 15 years. Mr. Nandiani, so many people from Infosys, the quality, so on and so forth. So I think that's a big advantage, and that's why so many companies have managed to grow so quickly. They don't have to re-innovate the basics and the fundamentals of that stack. And the third big driver is that fundamentally we have not had the education or the access to the most advanced financial tools that advanced economies have given to their citizens. Right? For example, we still don't have a course in India that in school, in any school that I've seen, that teaches you about taxation. If you go into an economics course in 9th and 10th, I have many friends that did. I went to computer science. But economics are mostly learning about Keynes and all of these ridiculous things that are completely outdated. But still, no one's talking to you about how to start a company, what does a company even mean, how equity works, and so on. So there's a education gap in India that if you solve for in different ways, it's not like we're stupid, just that the information doesn't come to us in an organized manner. The ability to organize and defragment that space and therefore then unlock product market fit opportunities, that's something that's only possible in India at this scale. It happened in China with mobile, with SMEs, with payments, and of course with WeChat and so on. And you can see the kind of fintech ecosystem that they've built out. India will have a similar scale, but in many different pieces. We won't have one or two large companies that way. We'll have dozens of companies that will be building that out. It's harder to build a monopoly in India, just like it's easier to do one in China. So those are three big variants we've seen. Now, to answer your question on what the future looks like, I think India will only surprise the rest of the world on the innovation in fintech. We're just seeing the first signs of what a mature payment ecosystem looks like. So there'll be four big camps fighting for the payment ecosystem now. There'll be Jio, Facebook, WhatsApp, that entire camp. There'll be, from what I can see, Airtel, Amazon, Kotak Bank, and that big camp that's being built. We'll have, of course, Google has to pick a camp or they'll try to build it on their own. There's, of course, Walmart and Flipkart and PhonePe, and they'll have to try to figure out something interesting. And of course, there's always Paytm, and you have to see where they end up in all this. So I think with payments being the first set of rails that got built, on top of that now we have investments, we have advisory, we have SME infrastructure, we have companies going from logistics to merchant enablement, and of course the banks and everyone wants to get involved. So the sheer rate at which large entities can come together, that is one of the big benefits that the fintech ecosystem have that the other ecosystems have not matured to yet. So that's no surprise why fintech's seen so much action.